The last thing, you guys mentioned it briefly in passing already, but the Oklahoma City Thunder have fired Scott Brooks. This is a quote from GM Sam Presti. "This is an extremely difficult decision on many levels. This decision is not a reflection of this past season, but rather an assessment of," and get ready for some corporate speak here, "of what we feel is necessary at this point in time in order to continually evolve, progress, and sustain our operation."
They're out of their minds. I mean, the guy went to the playoffs 5 years in a row.
You say that, and you might want to come back at the end of the program because the Nuggets may have a new coach by 3 o'clock. I said to him earlier. But what do you think people were thinking in Oklahoma City? Let's take Oklahoma City. The Broncos did what with John Fox? They fired John Fox. People in Oklahoma City.
So you're saying we don't
that.
really know what's going on behind the scenes?
Absolutely.
You know what very well could be happening?
But
maybe,
do you think
maybe Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook weren't happy with him, and they want to keep their stars happy, and they want to keep Kevin Durant in Oklahoma City.
Apparently, the GM did not consult Thunder players before making this decision.
Well, let me warn everybody in Oklahoma City about this. There were a lot of people who wanted George Karl gone. How do you feel about that now? In Oklahoma City, Scotty Brooks has had a lot of success, and he didn't make the playoffs this year because he was missing Kevin Durant and Serge Ibaka for much of the year.
That brings me to another question. If he doesn't have superstar players, and we talk about the Nuggets do not have superstar players.
True.
Is he going to be the same coach? Is what we saw this season from the Thunder going to be what we'd expect from the Nuggets this season without superstar players?
He was an assistant coach here. He didn't get a lot of publicity when he was here.
3 years he was here.
He's a very good coach. Now, you bring up a good point, but I would reply to you, he did his best coaching job this year. To win 45...
Without those two guys.
He won 45 games. When Westbrook missed 15, Durant missed a majority of the season. It's like 60%, and Ibaka was out. So I think you got to think that he is a very good coach. He knows the system. He knows what to do in Denver. He was trained under George Karl. So he and Westbrook had problems a couple of years ago. He and Durant have never had any problems. So I don't see the players being when they said we're going to evaluate him. You go, we're going to evaluate a 7-year coach. You already know what you want to know about him. They knew that they wanted him out of there, but they also should know they made a mistake. That they're going to get somebody now that Billy Donovan has never coached in the NBA.
And although I've gone on record as saying Mike D'Antoni should be the guy here, Scotty Brooks can excite the fan base, and they need to re-energize the fan base here.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thanks, Dan.
Thanks, guys.
Dan Petty, he's the digital director of sports for the Denver Post.
He's the nephew of Tom Petty.
Not the famous one.
But he does play guitar.